Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to the NUFC Insiders. We are live again, ladies and gentlemen, with a match review. We got to talk about the game. You know what time it is. Welcome everybody on the chat, of course. I appreciate your support. Smash the like button. Let me know your comments. What did you think about this match over the weekend? We got Ian Toon Trader, we got the Mighty Win, we got Kevin Chilvers, I'm Chris the American Magpie. So listen, have your say. A few things before we start. Of course, we gotta plug in certain things. Remember to like, subscribe. If you're new, you must be a subscriber to chat with us. If you subscribe and still can't chat, just refresh the stream, and you should be able to interact with us. Um, a little bit about the schedule this week. We got a few things. Let me just go to it. Just one second. Tomorrow we got the fans forum, so anybody can come on and have their say. Tomorrow is going to be an amazing show. Any fan, anybody, we're going to get as many people as we can. Come on and have your say. That's the show for the fans. Um, and then on Wednesday we should have the NUFC Insiders panel debate show. We'll see how many people can come. But we'll try to get these guys and other guys if they can. Which we'll try to make it work, at least have 4 or 5 people to come on and have their say. On Thursday, we have the match preview of Newcastle and Bournemouth. That's going to be amazing as well. Friday, we have the sit down with Pete Davey from the Loaded Mag UFC. So he's going to come on and have a chat with us. Pete Davey, great,
Top
great lad.
lad.
Yeah, top class, and he was out there. He was at the game with you, right?
Yeah, me and Tommy,
Yeah,
he was just sat behind us. Did
yeah,
you see
yep.
that?
So Friday we're gonna have to sit down with him. On Saturday, of course. Don't know if I'm gonna have I might have the press conference review Friday. Maybe, maybe not. Saturday might have the watch along. Maybe, maybe not. But I will have obviously the match reaction right after the match, and later on that afternoon on Saturday, the American Magpies coming back on, and of course Sunday we're off, and on Monday the match review of Newcastle Bournemouth. So that is the schedule. Um, and remember again to subscribe to our friends channel as well. The main one, NUFC Matters. The link is in the description. Subscribe to them. They're a friendly channel. We're kind of like the US branch of NUFC Matters at this point. So but subscribe to them. We have other friends as well. We got Tony from It's All Black and White TV down there. Toon TV, Jack's channels on the description as well. He was supposed to be on, but he's a young lad, man. He's got other stuff to do. He's got
You got
uh,
homework.
yeah, he got homework. A little gal that he's sniffing at. He can't be on the show all the time. So listen,
That's his
uh,
homework.
yeah,
Well,
he's got a
sniffing
curfew
something.
maybe. But and listen, lastly, you can become a patron of the channel, get exclusive Newcastle content, as well as have a chance to win prizes every month. At the end of February, somebody's going to win a home kit. So that's going to be a great, great giveaway. Fellas, welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well. Ian, I appreciate you for coming on. I know you've had a busy, busy day, as well as Kevin.
Yeah.
And Mighty Win too. I mean, you got, but Ian had one more show. Is a pretty busy guy, man. Everybody wants him. So
All
it's
in on Monday, mate. Get it
yeah,
all in on Monday.
yep. Um, but listen, Newcastle United, we got the win, man. What's the fuss about? We got the win. I mean, obviously, we have to analyze. This is a show to analyze the game. Of course, there are ups and downs, things that we did wrong, things that we did well. I don't think that Dan Burn deserved as much. Uh, you know, people were slaughtering him around on Saturday. I don't think he deserved that. He made a few mistakes, just like everybody else, on that particular play where they scored, and that was a hell of a pass. And Elanga is just a quick cat, and he got away from Burn as well as he got away from Botman. Both guys. Not a lot of people talk about Botman. So, we've had mistakes, but at the end of the day, fellas, we got the job done. Ian, what do you think about this match, brother?
Defence comes to the front, especially with the way we play with the high press. Like I said before, for me, Miggy was. We're allowed to swear on here. I can't remember whether we
Yeah,
are or not.
yeah,
Miggy
yeah.
was shite the whole game, and for me, he's not been at his best for a while. He wasn't great. His pass to Longy, who was also, I thought, below par and has been. I honestly don't think Longstaff's fully fit at all. He's a shadow of his former self. Because the one thing we knew that Longy gave, and Miggy as well, was legs, and they both looked leggy, you know. So we can't blame it on them lads, you know. But if you want to blame it on someone, let's stop picking on Byrne, because it was you know, Bruno had an amazing piece of skill to chip it over that kid's head. Then another little nice volley on to Miggy. Miggy had all the time in the world to do whatever he wanted to do with it. He played a piss poor pass to, well, obviously not to Sean. That got intercepted, and then we were wide open to it, because everyone had pushed forward, thinking, you know, we're on the attack. Kev's going to disappoint me by disagreeing with me on this, but I don't think. People are slating Miley, saying he got turned, but I think Miley was about 4 yards, maybe 4 meters, if you want to put it in metrics, away from where he needed to be. Now, the ball goes a lot quicker than anyone can move. I don't think he got turned. I think he just couldn't get there. And then it was a great ball through. For me, Dan Burn was looking on the outside. I agree with that. Botman thought Burn had it covered, and it went straight through the middle of him. But the main issue, apart from the shit pass right at the start of it, was Dubravka. He committed, then he didn't commit, then he got caught in no man's land, and that's the end of it. You know, yeah, stay back, and that's not a goal. Be Nick Pope, come forward and clatter it. That's not a goal. But he did neither. And unfortunately, that for me was the major issue that led to the goal for that bit. Do you want to know anything about it though? That's a bit that like so. I'm getting pissed off with people slagging Dan Burn off. Like I said before on matters. The you know, when that goal went in, there was a few kids, and they were only kids, you know, like, so you can't like give them too much shit. Although the bloke in front of us, who was probably in his 50s, turned around and over my shoulder gave him some fucking pelters, like, told them, and they shut up very quickly. They were, you know, chanting Tino. I think that's really fucking disrespectful. We could all have our opinion on who should play, but as soon as they get on that pitch, you back them, and you don't. You know, we're not fucking Man United. You know what I mean? We're not shit houses. We back the team. Bruno, excellent. Like, Bruno at his best, and something nobody said on this is the third one I've been on tonight, and the last one this week, by the way. And when Bruno scored his second goal, which again, Dan, as I said before, Dan Burn had a major part in, because he blocked off the only person who could have got to block him, their defender. He blocked his run off. He just stood there because he's a man mountain, and he stopped him getting to it. Bruno passed it into the corner, as he always does, you know. If he tries putting his laces through it, it don't go in. But when he just places it, it's in every time. And I think it's confidence with Bruno with the shooting. You know, people have slated him. I think when he's got his mojo, he will score goals. And I think he's on that rich vein of form at the moment. But after the most enjoyable thing for me was after when he came and he slid down on his knees in front of the crowd, and honestly, everyone went wild. And that's the thing as well. Nobody mentioned, because I was there in that crowd. You know, okay, a couple of kids shouted Tino. They got shut down straight away. Apart from that, the Geordie fans never stopped singing, and it was you know, in adversity, even when they scored, they were shite, by the way. Forest fans were absolute, you know, I think they might as well have not been there. They scored, they sang for 2 minutes, and that was it. You know, Newcastle fans were excellent, like amazing, and I was proud to be part of it.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think, my brother? What happened what do you think happened over the weekend?
Well, I only seen, like I said earlier on NUFC Matters, only seen 40 minutes of the game, because I had work to do, unfortunately. But it was a positive one, you know. had my little team to coach and had the 4-0 thriller and a 3-3, even bigger thriller. And I played a bit of shithousery in that game, by the way. Because of certain age groups, you can't kick the ball out of your hands as a goalkeeper. So I told the referee you can't do that. So that's how we scored the second. We were getting beat 3-1 and we were tied at 3-3. So that's how we get the win or the tie or the draw, whatever you want to call it. So I found myself a little place not too far from where I was, and I had no commentary, which was fantastic. And so I was just sitting there watching it, and it was an interesting game. It was weird because it seemed like we controlled a large part of it. But at the same time, you just know what Forest are going to bring and playing on the counter-attack, essentially. Again, like I've discussed with Ian and the good old mighty win, that 3 points are 3 points at the end of the day. But I look at it from a different perspective and see deficiencies not as a bad thing, but as not as a negatives. Or I see the game probably different, like everybody else who has the opinion, and not as a very high level coach, but coach for nearly 20 years and seen a lot of different things at different levels. And I'm still a season ticket holder, so I've seen from when I was 9 to whenever I moved over here 15 years ago, I've seen a lot of football. So just like everybody else. So again, I called it last week on NUFC Matters that we should go to a 3, and when we go 3-2 up, that's what Eddie Howe decides to do. And we looked a little bit more solid from watching the highlights and different things, just based on the personnel that we have available. I thought, and I said last week, that Forest will overload the midfield, and they did. That's how pretty much they score, how we concede every time based on that initial ball through the middle of the field. There's no cover, there's no depth within the midfield 3. And to go to Ian's point, and what we said earlier was, yes, you give the ball away deep in the offensive third, attacking third, but to deny that ball forward is a problem. It's called Gegenpress. You can look it up. You can Google it. And as soon as you lose the ball, you have to win the ball back within 5 to 10 seconds or somewhere within that realm. It's like Liverpool, like Man City. It's like all of that across the field, across the pitch. So if Sean Longstaff goes in and gets that block, it goes out for a throw-in, we can then reset. If
Correct.
Longy doesn't get that block or stops it, then Miggy just sticks a leg out. If he gets something out of it, it'll deflect somewhere else. We can then reset. But that one ball and the half-hearted effort to stop that ball going beyond us, that's been a problem for. I've banged on this drum, and I'll bang on it until it stops. Not stops, but it's always going to happen. It's part of the game. In terms of, you can't blame Lewis Miley because he's not out of position. He just has to cover. He just has to get there in somehow, a way, shape, or form. But previously, how we've conceded is that one ball. It's called playing through the lines. So if your midfield goes beyond your midfield, you're done. Morgan Gibbs White, fabulous footballer. Good footballer. He's going to find a pass. I don't care if he's in 10 yards of space, 20 yards of space, or no space at all. He will find something or create something. So
he's perfectly weighted as well. You've got to admit.
Oh, he's wonderful to watch. He's a fabulous footballer to watch. Yeah. I mean, so if I said it matters. I watched it with my son. I felt sorry for Dan Burn in that we call them moments. I felt sorry for him because he's in two minds. He's in more than two minds. Do I cover Sven Botman, which I would have done in his world, to decrease the space in the defensive area? He
thought they were going outside, didn't he?
You're right, and that's what he thinks. So, but for me, I would rather have the ball going outside than everybody else can shuffle and move. But he's thinking, okay, well, I'll just stay here. But he's not expecting Elanga to run from outside to in. And I agree with you, Ian, in terms of Dubravka's positioning. Are you coming or you're not? I need to know. Is it a centre half or a back four? We need to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Communicate. And even my missus, and she's only been with me 2 and a bit years or whatever it is, and she understands.
Yeah.
She gets antsy every time he gets near a football, every time he touches in whatever. He's very erratic. He's very indecisive, and that proved. Even when he makes a save, it's like, just catch it. You know, it's not hard. You know, you don't have to mess about. You know, so I thought his decision making was pretty poor. I understand that you got to play a higher line with the ball in behind. I get that, and your positioning, I get it. But I thought he could have done a lot better in terms of his positioning and or Botman's positioning and where he was. But outside of all of that, going into the second goal, little unfortunate in terms of the deflection from Miley into the back of the net.
He turned his back, though, to be fair.
So what?
Miley turned his back.
True, but he could have got a little bit closer.
If it had stayed squared up, it would have been...
Yeah, but then there's others behind him that can get in position, just defensive positional. So it just get a little box around him, close the space. It's a reactionary thing. That's how we scored our second.
Yeah.
It's a reaction inside that 18-yard box. So that's just it's fine margins. That's the fine margins of it. If was it who was it, Hudson-Odoi? If that shot doesn't hit Miley, that's going into the 15 yards past the post, 10 yards, whatever it is. You don't know. It could have went well wide. Look, and then you still 2-1 up going into half time, comfortable, move on. But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what I didn't mention matters is, but the bigger thing for me was the response in the second half of controlling the game, getting the third goal, and then going to a 3, nullifying Forest, who, I mean, pretty much a kick and rush. I mean, I like Nuno as a coach and what his principles are, but it's not for a Forest. Forest are not that type of team.
No.
But, you know, that's just how it goes. But, yeah, so at the end of the day, like I said, right at the start, 3 points are 3 points. You know, pulling up trees, no pun intended. Well, there was a pun intended. But, you know, pulling them up, chopping them down, and then we'll move on to Bournemouth this weekend. And, happy days.
Derek, you've been quiet. You haven't interrupted anybody yet. You've been meditating. You've been contemplating.
I haven't looked at anyone. It's because everybody's been talking sense.
There you go.
You're kidding,
man.
Hold on.
As I say, the problem that I saw on Saturday, which everybody's commented on, was the midfield. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Bruno had his best game. In fact, the last 2 games have been okay. Bruno's been better than he has been previously. And I think that could be because he's on this final warning thing. You know, he knows if he gets a yellow, he's going to be suspended. And that fact is curtailing
discipline,
natural, aggressive, super aggressive play. And therefore he's thinking more. And by thinking more, he's playing better. Do you think that's got anything to do with it?
I think that's some part of it, but I think he's been pushed further up the field as well.
Well, yeah.
He's much better as a number 8 than a number 6.
Oh, he's far better as an 8 than a 6, yeah. Now on some of the other things that have been mentioned, everybody, and obviously back to BDB, there was ructions on about some of the crowd singing Tino at the Luton game. thinking, this before the substitution was made, Crouch and Tino. But I think what a lot of people are forgetting about that is that they only started shouting Tino when he came out of the dugout.
Warming up. Yeah.
And we do that. We do that with a lot of players. When a player comes on.
Derek, that wasn't the case.
No, I realised what you were saying. I wasn't in the crowd, obviously, at Forest. So I appreciate what you're saying, and it's great to hear that some sensible heads shut them up. That's what we want. When you're going away, you just support the team. So that was a couple of things. We haven't mentioned yet about the commentary on the game, which was absolutely outrageously biased against Newcastle. And the referee, which he had an absolute shocker in many ways. But fortunately for once, we were the beneficiaries, because nobody's going to convince me that penalty claim wasn't a penalty. If that had been Newcastle getting denied that penalty, I would have been up in arms.
You thought it was a penalty. So now we can open up the debate, and we can get into fights. We can insult each other if we want to. Just playing.
Yes.
Somebody told me, hey Chris, say Raji to Geordies, and just say
Raji
and Raji. And I was like, what?
No,
I said, what does it mean?
No,
and it's like, just say it. Just say you're a fucking Raji. And,
you're a fucking Raji, man.
But then I found out what it was.
Raji Gaji.
But
Gaji.
So do you think, Derek? Do you think that was a penalty that should have been called?
Yeah, I think from the minute Dubravka raised his arm the second time, which made contact, penalty all day.
Yeah.
His arm's down on the ground, which it's entitled to be there because he's trying to get the ball. But then as the foot comes up, he lifts his arm, very clever.
Was it arm to foot, or was it foot to arm, though?
It was arm to foot, definitely.
Nah,
Did you watch Ref Watch this morning with Gallagher?
Nah.
There was one particular view that they had of it, and it showed it as clear as you'd ever want to see.
In real time, what I saw was he went over, he lost control of the ball was going out, and he realised, oh bollocks, and he fucking left his foot in. And now, I'm not gonna lie, if that was the other end of the pitch, I would be fucking screaming for that. Right? It's a 50-50, but it's one of these 50-50s where we've lost out on so many of them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We've never had the rub of the green on them.
No.
And that for me, it's probably a penalty if it's given as a penalty. But if it's not given as a penalty, it's not clear and obviously that it is a penalty. So if the ref doesn't give it, it's not.
Except that the ref had a very, very bad view of that. Because if you look at this sideline, and to me, that is what VAR is for. VAR is for spotting stuff that the referee doesn't.
The whole game, he did not give us the fucking lickings.
He didn't give us the lickings of a dog. I agree with you. He was
so shit through the whole game that we've got to let him be shit for them a little bit as well. Do you know what I mean? And that was the only thing.
No. I say it's about time we got the rub of the green in terms of VAR.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a 50-50.
But to be fair, we were throughout the season. We've had a few calls going our way. Against Wolves, they give us a penalty, and that more than likely shouldn't. So I mean, it's divided. I don't believe in this conspiracy.
It works itself out. I think last season it didn't. We had
swings and roundabouts. At the end of the day, you get some, you don't.
Yeah, I think that's just part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. What Stephen Field is saying, the commentary is always biased. Now with that, I mean, I don't necessarily know that I get the same commentary that you guys get. I mean, they're English, so I don't know. Well, they're English.
Me and Chris, we get the same. We had John Champion and Graham Lasso on NBC.
I did. Are those the same people from Sky?
No.
Okay, so different. Yeah, I mean, so
we definitely don't get Graham Lasso over here.
Don't really get too much. I mean, sometimes I do notice it in certain competitions, but definitely don't notice it on European competitions. I mean, maybe because they don't have anything at
It's
stake.
so biased, and so by the commentary over here is so biased. Like they're fucking cheering the other team.
Yeah.
They're still talking about Jurgen Klopp over here, man, about him leaving.
Yeah. Well, the best comment was, all this game needs is a fucking whoever we were playing goal.
Fulham.
The other game. Yeah, Fulham goal.
A lot of people, Lewis said every referee bloody hates Newcastle. I mean, you gotta. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to sit down and look at every single play that could have been and should have been. You know, I mean,
I think the referee. Like, my point on the referee for the whole game is he did not. He's a dangerous referee. He's a terrible referee, and he, whether it's unconscious or conscious bias, he has a bias against Newcastle, and he let our players have the shit kicked out of them again.
Yeah.
Seen that 3 times this season when that Baldy bastard's been in charge, right? And he let how Bruno didn't react because he was getting the shit kicked out of him again, and he just lets it go.
That's the point I'm making. Because Bruno is on this final warning, he didn't retaliate. And,
you're right.
What I'm saying is, I think that is actually improving his game.
Yeah, it's maturity, isn't it?
On another subject, which you were talking about, MJW, Morgan Gibbs White, who you were waxing lyrical about. If it comes to the point that we had to get rid of Bruno, and I know MJW is not going to fill his boots, but do you think he could come close? Do you think he could do a job for us in the highest echelons?
He couldn't even lace his left boot.
No. I'm not. Don't want to do a direct comparison with Bruno, but could he do a job for us? Could he get us to the next level, do you think? Bearing in mind that with the Bruno money, would be able to buy, I don't know, another centre back, another right wing, another striker.
If we sold Bruno and we signed him to replace Bruno, that would be a massive step back. He's a good player, don't get us wrong. But Bruno, if we get rid of Bruno, we need to sign another Bruno, and he's not a Bruno for me.
It's got to be a big name. It can't just be. Listen, man, we got to make moves. Yeah.
For me, it would be keep Bruno, add him, and get another central defender midfielder in.
Correct.
That's how I would go. That would.
I like him. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I
like him.
Right.
Mentioned him a few times, but Bruno's the central cog. If you're going to go down the Dan Ashworth phrase of "I'm the central cog to how this wheel works,"
He makes it tick.
Everything goes through him. So if you go put him as an 8, and you have, say, Morgan Gibbs White, for argument's sake, is another number 8, possibly /10, with another. Not saying we're going to go get Rodri, by the way, but it's something like of a ilk of a Rodri.
Mm-hmm.
So where would GS7 fit then?
Who?
You
could play him again, but you got, it's called, not getting complicated. It's called double pivots.
Yeah,
so
I know double.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So you can every midfielder now or 3 has a role, but then therefore they can drop in and sit in. But if you have something, you got Tonali to come back as well. So do you really need?
I think we've got to get into this mentality that we've got to get the big boy mentality as well, where it's not we've only got 3 midfielders. We
got to get big names, man. We got to get big names. That needs to be the goal.
I don't think we need to get big names. I think we've already got big names. We just need to get them in the team.
We need to get big players.
Yeah, but I mean.
But with FFP, we can't get big names but
that's got to be the goal. I mean, I'm not saying today, but Manchester City, we need to be that. I mean, I understand that. I understand that
they had that takeover in 2008. So
that's not going to happen overnight.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying it will. You got to work towards that. If not, when are you? Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built someday. And someday you got to start. You know what I mean? So, and it's a process because
but however,
I think Derek's right. I think
Man
Derek's
City,
right.
we were going to be taken over by the Man City ownership group pre-Man City.
That's what I heard.
I know that for a fact. That
Ashley
we were
didn't
going to
turn
be
up.
taken over from that.
But was it?
There you go.
Was it true that
But
Ashley showed up drunk?
it didn't happen. And Ashley showed up. So history, it is what it is. So it is what. Look, we could be where Man City are sitting right now, but it didn't happen. It is what it is. We were
saying, but,
financially in a ruin. So,
but at some point, we need
look,
we need to focus on that. Listen, let's go to the. Let me see. I got some comments there, some questions. But one thing, Chelsea's up 3-1 now, and that's not necessarily good for us. We need to know. Well, I mean, listen, but I mean, I'm saying we also need to be looking at other teams. Unfortunately, Manchester United won, beat Villa, and I don't know what the hell. That's what I keep saying. This Villa, Manchester United, Tottenham, and Newcastle are on the same level. We're not in the same place right now in the table. We don't have the same amount of points, but we fight for that 4th, 5th, 6th spot. Unfortunately, we were hit with injuries, but we are there. Even though Tottenham, I think I mentioned Tottenham as well. Tottenham is literally 11 points above us. That doesn't really reflect to me where the levels. I mean, we're not 10 points away from them, in my opinion. We were hit with a million injuries. We competed for more competition that they ever did. They just got the Premier League. They got eliminated from the Carabao and FA Cup early. So, but I'm just saying, in next season with a full fit squad, we should be competing for the 4th, 5th, 6th spot. But again, we'll see. What proves my point is what Aston Villa is going through. We beat them. They lost against Manchester United. They beat other teams as well. So it's the same thing. We're just inconsistent because earlier in the season, Aston Villa, everybody was in love with Aston Villa, and and they were going to be competing for the title and this and that. Well, at the end of the day, we're about the same level. I mean,
And Aston Villa have got a horrendous running.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's Chelsea. If things stay as they are, Chelsea now are only 2 points behind us, and we've got to play them at the bridge.
Yeah. You must
Well,
be well.
And Man United have to play us.
Yeah.
At Old Trafford,
I think, looking at our running apart from Arsenal, I'm not scared of anyone.
No. We can beat any team.
Totally agree.
That's the craziest thing about it, is that we can beat any team today. Imagine if we're fully fit. That's
half decent squad.
Yeah. Of course. Viking Big Up Beer says, "Wow, Chris, did you get?"
He's taking a piss out of me. Fuck off.
Yes. Big Up Beer, man. I appreciate your support. Everybody else, Les, Derek.
Love you, Viking. Love you, man.
Yeah, love Derek's support. Not Derek the win. He just smoking cigarettes on camera. But Derek, how do you say his last name? Oding. But I appreciate you, man. Ian McKenna, everybody else coming in. Listen, let's go to the player scores. It's time. We got to get down dirty, and we have to get, because at the end of the day, we can just say, yeah, it's a group effort. Come on, man. Each player has a mind of their own and played a certain way. So we can start with Martin Dubravka. I know you guys say Martin. It's Martin. The name is in Spanish, so that I'm just gonna call him Martin. How do you guys rate Ian? Let me start with you. What do you think from 1 to 10? How do you rate the one and only Martin Dubravka? He had a little sort of kind of a mistake there, but yeah.
Yeah. Made a few good stops. He's a good shot stopper. If he doesn't have to do anything, if he's got no time, if it's reactive, he's a great goalkeeper, and I've no major problem with him. He just, as soon as he has to think about it, I feel like he drops his arse. But saying that, he made that one mistake. Maybe wasn't the greatest on the other goal, but I would say I'd give him a 6 out of 10. I'm not going to slate the lad.
A 7 out of 10, you said?
6.
Ooh, 6. Well, you're not doing him much of a favor either.
That's quite good, actually.
So that means he played bad if you're trying to be nice to him.
Well, if you see 5 out of 10's average, I'm giving him slightly above average.
Okay, yeah. Man. I hate to be your friend or your enemy.
You're my friend, Chris. I'm giving you a 10 out of 10, mate.
Hey, big up my wife in the chat, man. Looking good in the black and white shirt, Chris. Yeah, my wife, appreciate you, baby. All right, don't embarrass me now. But
Betsy, get on, Betsy.
oh no.
We've got no lookers on here.
She threw me off. You see, now I gotta regroup. What do you think, Kevin? Martin Dubravka.
Agree with Ian.
Why
I
you
went with
laughing,
6
man?
out of 10. I just jotted it down at 6 out of 10. I don't think he's a very good goalkeeper at all. Fabulous shot stopper, yes, but overall, can't command an area. Doesn't look like he communicates. As the last line of defense, you have to control that back four. I don't think that's occurred. I haven't looked at any numbers, but look, since he came in, how many goals we've conceded?
The
No,
stats are
Well,
the stats are ridiculous since Pope.
yeah, but nah, don't be mean. You're a man. You're a coach, man. You're supposed to put context into things. So all of a sudden, the defense don't play. All
Well,
of
I
a
haven't
sudden,
prepared.
there's
I haven't
nobody in front of
prepared.
him.
I've been busy. No,
Oh,
but I would.
Chris, I tell you what, Kev, sorry. What you want to do, Chris, is speak to Pete when Pete comes on your show, because Pete, I'm sure it was Pete on his show, put up a statistic. I'm positive it was Pete or one of the lads.
Pete who?
From there, Davey.
Oh, Pete Davey, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure them lads put up a statistic which was when this season, when Pope was in goal, and then when Dubs has been in goal, and the difference is we've gone from the three main key sort of areas. We've gone from first, second, third to 20th, 20th, 20th.
Yeah.
And it is shocking when you look at it. Now, statistics for me are a load of bollocks a lot of the time, so you can read into it. But that was actually scary. I'm sure it was Pete. So ask Pete before he comes on. Ask him.
I'll ask him, man. I'll ask him. Please, people, smash the like button. People are starting to join, so smash the like button so we can get as many magpies as we can. You said what was your score, Kevin?
Out of 10, 6, and I would go get another one, and I would put a name out there. The lad Trafford from Burnley.
What about it? You about to give him a score? We're
No,
gonna
I'm
do
not going to
scores
give
too.
him a score. I give.
No, someone else mentioned him like as a possible.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Lee Trafford.
I think 6 is harsh. I'll give him a 7.
I would go get him.
I think
come on now, you got to join in.
I think Kevin didn't pay his internet. He's going in and out. He's got a delay. But Kevin, Mighty Win. What is your score? By the way, people, comment your score. How do you rate the team, player by player, as we're going along? So please post your score. Derek, what do you think?
Yeah, I think 6 is a bit harsh. I'll give him a 7.
Exactly.
He was pretty good at
Ian's talking about, yeah, man. I think I'll be nice. 6, acting like that's he's gonna put. He's gonna play the.
Apart from that, coming out and potentially giving the penalty away, he didn't do much wrong, and his distribution for me is much better than Pope's.
His distribution is good. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't think a 7's ridiculous. I think it's a 6 or a 7 around there.
Okay, Ian. He's standing. He's not budging. He's not moving. I'll give him a 6. I mean, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I just say 6. I'm not going to sugarcoat it like Ian. But now let's go to the center backs. Sven Botman. Sven Botman and Fabian Schär both. Ian.
Both of them.
Yep.
Sven Botman, I'd go 7. I thought he had a little bit to blame for the goal we talked about before, but really probably not. It was one of them, not that much. Apart from that, I thought he played really well. Fabian Schär, I thought Fabian Schär had a great game, again. Obviously, top finish, considering he's not a striker. Great finish, and he played some good crossfield balls as well. And if you watch the highlights, they didn't show a lot of what he did really well as well. The same with Sven. So I would say 8 for Fabian and 7 for Botman.
All right. Derek, what do you think?
I'll go 8 for Shea, 7 for Botman. 8, more or less on a par, but 8 for scoring. He gets the 7 for the assist because I thought Botman had a bit of a ropey performance.
All right. Quick and simple. Kevin?
Quick and simple. Full house. 7 for Botman and 8 for Shaw.
All right. There. I said 7.5 each. I'm gonna give that the 0.5.
No,
fucking Yanks.
I'm gonna put the decimal. I'm gonna put the decimal in there. All right, we can go to the right side. Kieran Trippier, captain of the team. I mean, Kieran Trippier almost felt like he was quiet, but I think he played decent. But what do you guys think, Ian?
Pure quality. I thought he was really good. I loved it when he moved into that midfield position. I thought that first 15, 20 minutes, they didn't know what was going on. I love that. I don't think he really did too much wrong. I'd say I'd give him, his deliveries were excellent as well. I'd say I'd give him a 9.
A 9, all right. Win.
yeah, I'll go along with that. A 9. I think he's joined top in the Prem now for assists.
Oh yeah, that is
I think
true. I
it's
think
not.
I heard.
I thought the first 15 minutes when we played really our best stuff was when he moved up the back of midfield, which is as you know where I would like to see Shea moving up to, whilst we've got this midfield crisis.
Right.
But I thought he did really well. Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
8.
I knew you'd say that. You know it.
Yeah. Why did you? I haven't been
I've seen 40 minutes of the game. He put one ball across the Bruno. Yes, he dropped into the central midfield. However, a 9's a high ball for me, so he's a big score. So behave yourself. So go.
No, that's fine.
Right,
you missed 60.
No, 10's a high score.
You missed 60 minutes.
Well, yeah, but
anyway, Kev, so
that's a very, very high ball for me, mighty win.
He's saying you're not qualified to give scores, man. You only watched 30 minutes of the game. But
I was working.
I thought we went for Bruno's score.
All right.
Oh, you wait. Don't worry.
Let's go to the left. Let's go to the left side. Ooh, this is where it gets hot, baby. It gets hot. A lot of people were blaming this guy throughout the whole game. I didn't think he deserved it, but Daniel Byrne. I don't know if his name is Daniel, but I said I don't know. Dan Byrne.
I'm being honest. I thought he was excellent.
Excellent.
I'm going 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think you're
I watched it real life, real time. 8. He got a 7, but for the block off for Bruno's second goal, he gets another point for that. He's getting an 8.
Look at Beer, straightforward. Hey man, he is trying to do what footballers do on TV. I play the game. You can't debate me. So he's gonna say that he was at the game. So his word is the almighty word.
It's not the almighty word. It's my opinion. And
there we go.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I'm wrong a lot of the time.
Most of the time, to be fair.
Most of the time. Yeah. Well, pretty much all the time.
All right. So you get how much you give him? 8?
I gave him 7, but I've given an extra 1 for that block off.
That's not bad.
So I'm giving him 8. I thought it was excellent. Honestly, he played a good game.
Okay.
I think he won. Was it 4 out of 4 ground duels? 4 out of 7 headers and some of the headers were like they were nowhere near him. He couldn't get anywhere near him. He won everything he had to defensively. Obviously, it's shit going forward, but we know that. You know what I mean? Like that's not what he's there for.
But we know that. As long as we know that. Derek.
My man, BDV.
This is going to be all chocolate.
I think Ian summed it up perfectly. Yeah, and I'm going to go with an 8 as well. Probably,
come on.
probably for exactly the same reason. Probably a 7 because he did get skinned twice, although it was only 1.5 times in my opinion. But that block for Bruno's goal just gets him the extra point, so I'm going to give him an 8.
All right, Kevin.
7.5, just because.
Because I can't.
This guy, man. All right, you know what?
Just to stir the pot, you know what I mean? I mean, I agree with what the lads have said. I just to stir the pot, 7.5.
I will give him a. I'm going to compromise. I'm going to give him a 7.2.
What were you really going to give him though?
I'm going to
give him a 6.
7.2. 7.2 is fair, man. It's not all the.
Yeah, that's what he got.
We're doing points now.
I'm just saying. Kevin started it.
No, you started it. Behave yourself.
7.6 on that, bro.
Be a Viking, give him a 4.
Yeah, Viking give him a 4, man. And he said call Specsavers.
Yeah.
He said Ian call Specsavers.
I need to actually. I can't read anymore. I'm that old.
All right.
I was in Specsavers yesterday, and now I guess who I bumped into.
Everyone.
Everybody.
You didn't have your fucking glasses on, did you?
All right, let's go to the midfield, fellas. Longstaff on the right side of the midfield. Ian.
Sorry, I forgot where I was. I was still laughing at fucking the mighty win.
Is that a Geordie? Is that a Geordie joke?
My dad used to tell that joke about fucking 30 years ago.
Right.
Bro, tear to me.
Come on, you know.
He's dead now. No, not saying you're going to be dead soon, mighty win or anything. He was a bit older than you. Sorry, fucking hell, I forgot what I'm up to now. It's been a long night.
Longstaff, man.
Longstaff. To me, I love Sean. He's been shite for weeks. Even when he's scoring goals, I've been really disappointed in his performance. I think I forgot he was on the pitch, apart from when he fucked up. I'm giving him a 4, and that's being generous.
Oh, 4. Ah, dang, man. He
did nothing.
Yeah, Beer says 4, so I guess you guys agree on something. Derek.
Well, at the end of the 90 minutes live, when I'd watched it, I would have given him 4 as well. And then, as you do, I watched it again, the full 90 minutes. And I thought, oh yeah. For starters, the 2 corners that led to Bruno's goal were caused by a Longstaff shot which Dubravka put around the post. So he kind of gets a half assist for that, because if he hadn't got that, we wouldn't have got the corners. And then I also saw him doing a lot more effective running in midfield than I previously spotted it the first time round. When I was kind of watching, first time round, you're watching the ball all the time, or as much as you can see in shot. And second time round, you try to look, and you've got time to pause and go back and rewind and look at things again. And second time of asking and third time of asking, he got better with each looking. So he still didn't have a great game by a long way, but I'm going to give him a 6.
That's it. All right, you did a lot of talk. I thought you were about to give him an 8. You know, you did a lot of talking, man.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, Kevin.
Well, for the length of time I watched it, I give him a 6. And I agree with what the Mighty Win said. In terms of energy for what it is, I'll fault him for our first goal because he's the first initial press. But by the way, it was Matt Sells, not Dubravka, by the way, who was his understudy, Mighty Win, who made the save from the shot. Yeah, I'm just taking the piss. I'm sorry. I'm just taking the piss.
The mighty Matt Sells.
Yeah. Somehow he's got a starting job in the Premier League somehow. But anyway, yeah, I think it was just average. I don't think it was neither or. It was in between. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been any. To be honest, I could have given him a 5. He just pissed me.
If he put that one in, that the shot that he had, if he put that in, then obviously scores goes up. But yeah, it was a middle of the road. It was a 100%, what I would call 100% a performance. Yeah. Give his all, ran around, kicked, passed, doing what he had to do, just played the game.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't think he's fit. That's what I honestly think, because
I think he's knackered, to be honest. Yeah,
I think he's knackered as well.
Yeah, I think he's such an effective player for us, and we missed him so much from when he was fit and then he was injured. And I just think he's not. He was everywhere. He was doing like 8-9 kilometers every game. Well, I'll tell you now, I've not looked at the stats, but I'll tell you now, if he did 5 or 6 kilometers, we'd be lucky. Him and Miggy looked lost there without Bruno behind them.
I think Longstaff since he's come back, and Botman since they've come back from their injuries are not the players they were before they got injured.
True.
Not as worried about Botman, but Longstaff. I
Kevin, what was your score?
For me, what I give him a 6.
6.
Okay. I'll give him a 7. Yep. All right. Crickets. Moving on. Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, come on.
10.
Come on, man. That's it's got to be
11.
a 10.
I'm gonna invite him round. He can come round to my house for Sunday dinner and tuck my wife in.
Yeah. If it was a Geordie, the win would say he deserves a 20. But he just did. He did everything impossible, man.
Emily just heard what I said then, and she went. Do you not mean Trippier? My wife loves Trippier.
Yeah. So I think we're all gonna agree it's a 10, right? On Bruno.
No, 9.9 because you didn't get a hat trick.
Well, I think to get a 10.
You don't think he got a 10?
Hang on. You've got to get a 10.
Oh no,
you have to be absolutely faultless.
And that's what he was, 10.
And he wasn't. He lost the ball a couple of times doing his fancy tricks and things. Hang on. However, so that cost them a little bit, but 2 goals more than make up for that. So definitely a 10.
Okay, so
I'll go with it. I'll go with the 10 just to make it a full house, just because I was 9.9.
Oh man,
I'll go with 10 just to make it a hat trick. Chris, if you don't go for a 10, son, I'm driving to Mizzou.
No, it's a 10. I mean, you can't.
Oh, okay.
He literally decided to say, you know what, I'm tired of this stupid game. I want to win it, and we're gonna go home.
Even be a Viking said 10.
One man midfield.
Yeah. Lewis Miley. Ian.
It's a really hard one, this.
Hey,
I don't
man.
think there's anybody in Newcastle who loves Lewis Miley more than me.
Can I go do mine in that? Because I need to piss real quick. Can I do mine?
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go on for 7. A bit. When you come back and I've finished, I'm going to go for 1.
All right.
Hurry up. No, Lewis Miley. Lewis Miley, I thought was he was okay. I thought he adapted well to playing a more defensive role, considering he's a kid. He's 17.
Right.
He's, he wasn't brilliant. I think in the future, when he's 2021, he's going to play as number 8. For me, his football brain is more of an attacking player. But I thought it was a masterclass pushing Bruno forward, because that's what won us the game. And so I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think I can agree with that. 7. Derek?
Well, at the minute with Lewis, his football brain is that big,
Yeah.
but sadly his frame is just that big. And if you're going to take his age into consideration, then you could, you could give him a 7. But if you're judging it strictly on the performance on Saturday and not taking his age into consideration, if that had been, I don't know, if that had been Willock or someone like that, putting in Miley's performance, you wouldn't have got much more than a 5 off me. But because of his age, obviously, you've got to build that into your judgment, in which case I would agree a 7's about right.
All right.
Okay, it's a 6 or a 7. I pushed it up to a 7 because I'm just going to love him.
I think that Miley, when he makes a great play, obviously he can impact the game. But lately, I don't think that he's been adding much, and I don't think that he's been, not performing bad enough to say he's detrimental to the team. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't add, but it doesn't subtract. I mean, it's just
there are no alternatives, Chris.
no. That's right. That's right. No, I'm not. Yeah, no. But I like him a lot, and of course, I think that when he gets a good break and he sees the pitch clearly, he can be really a positive player for us. But again, he's a young lad and got a lot to learn. We're going to the right side with Miguel Almiron. I think he was quiet. I think I don't think he was just. I mean, you could go watch the match over. You're not
What
gonna.
did Kev say? Kev hasn't marked Miley yet, I don't think.
Oh yeah, he said 7.
7.
Yeah,
7.
he said 7.
All right.
Yeah. So let me start with the mighty win. What do you think about Miggy?
Well, I am Miggy's biggest fan. I'm the chairman of the Miggy fan club. But he was poor yesterday, on Saturday. Poor. Apart from the assist to Longstaff for his shot that led to the first goal, he was almost anonymous. His ball control was terrible. His normal running and covering what didn't seem to be there. So it was I defend him all the time. But I couldn't defend that performance on Saturday. And I wonder if that's got something to do with the fact that Murphy had been injured in the train. As I say, competition is so important to get performances out of players. And he knew that Murphy was crocked, so he wasn't really under any pressure, unless there was going to be a change to the system, which there was, but that wouldn't normally involve him. So I'm going to give him breaks me heart, but I'm going to give him a 4.
Damn, man. You're acting like he's paying your bills or something.
I just love Miggy, but he was poor.
Big up Jordy Z, on the chat. Oh, who just jumped off? Oh, appreciate you, brother. Ian, Almiron, man.
Yes. Whew. Thank God for that. Are we on Miggy?
Yeah.
Shite. Miggy's. No, I love Miggy.
That's a technical expression.
I love Miggy.
Man, you made me spit.
Not very good. Shite.
That's what my missus said.
Oh my God, dude.
Sorry. I love me. I love me.
Dude.
She's gone to bed. She's gone to bed, fortunately. I've got to make her lunch tomorrow, though. I know. Actually, good point. Sorry, Kev. We'll have a chat. Hey, Kev, we can have a chat after.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Therapy.
Miggy is one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever met briefly to say hello to, and I absolutely love him. But recently, he's been absolute dog shit on the pitch. I forgot he was on there, if I'm being honest. Apart from when he cots up, 3 is the most I could give him.
Wow. Damn. All right.
It was awful.
Yeah.
was awful.
He disappeared from the match. Yeah, he was gone.
He was. I didn't even know he was on the pitch. You know,
Yeah.
but man, that's someone who, you know, and I actually love Miggy. You know, and I bigged him up when he played on the left the other week, but it was terrible.
I'd have given him 3 as well if it wasn't for the sort of half assist for Longstaff. But
Yeah.
That was nice.
Well, you're gonna give him your dickhead like 3.275.
No, I'm going to give him a 4, but there's a
Him.
background on Miggy. I had the pleasure of watching him here in Atlanta. When he obviously played it for Atlanta United, and he played in a completely different role, and he was
Number 10.
Yeah, the 10. You can go back and watch it. I mean, I'm not waxing lyrical, but he plays
in the
10 for Paraguay.
10.
Yeah, and we had a centre forward. He's not very good, by the way, but he made him look good. He called Joseph Martinez. He went into Miami. Now he's in Montreal, and he made him. He was like the Peter Beardsley. Not saying Andy Cole wasn't a good striker, by the way, but it was like the Peter Beardsley, the Andy Cole type of scenario. He just fed him.
Just the shit version.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But I like you said, Ian. He's the happiest footballer you'll ever meet, and the joy that he plays with. It seems like it's been punctured and the bubbles burst. Essentially, I don't know. I'm just reading, and you can just tell
he's
not the same.
Well.
He's not the same. He's had an illness. He's had this. He's had that.
They've not got the energy. None of them.
Yeah, none of them do. And that's the recovery periods and the workloads that they go through. I mean, shit, if we ran the amount of distance that they do, we would be done for about 3 weeks and never see it again.
Kev, on
on
Saturday I've got to walk. Me and Tommy are in level 7, row W, right?
Oh, good luck.
Take your oxygen mask.
Have a look.
Hey,
have a look at
I
me.
was up on level 7 for years, so don't worry. You try and get in the lift, and you can get up there and just nudge the steward to get in the lift.
I walk it every time.
I know, I'm the same.
All right,
but no, I'll give him a 4. He was
a 4.
Yeah.
I'll be nice. I'll give him a 5. I mean, I don't know. It's whatever, really.
No, Chris. Honestly, like it's harsh, but it's the biggest thing that Miggy gives to us is his energy and his press and his enthusiasm. And at the moment, it's not his fault. He hasn't got that because he's not fit. Because these lads have been flogged. You know, like they've been flogged. And it's easy to sit here and go, "Oh, Miggy's shit," which I've just done. He isn't shit. He's just knackered.
Jordan C says, "I think Miggy was upset that Newcastle tried to sell him, and it took the shine from his performance." I don't know. I don't know if the club tried to sell him or not. To be honest, I mean, we just don't know exactly 100% of the truth. But yeah, that's a good point to make. Beer says Ian is only in level 7 row, so he can't see Dan Burns' performance.
From up there, you can see his bald spot.
Oh, hell no. All right, let's go to Callum Wilson. He was a non-existent, man. Callum, listen, man. I never mind. You know, I got enough heat on me from fans criticizing for me criticizing players. But all right, you guys go, Ian.
I actually thought.
I know you. I know you. What you think? Don't worry about it.
No, I thought it was. He didn't do much, but what he did well. He was an annoyance, and that's what he when he's not scoring goals, he's a pain in the arse. So I don't think he certainly wasn't one of the players that I thought they were shit. You know, like he was nowhere near a Miggy or a Sean on the pitch. I'd give him a 6 anyway.
Yeah. Let me go with Kevin again, then go to Derek.
Agreed, a 6, because as we use on NUFC Matters and Mr. Dr. Neil Mitchell, shithouse. And in that type of game, it's long balls, ball out, holding up play, occupying 2 centre halves, and just being a nuisance. And it's shithousery. You don't have to score as a striker, centre forward. Yes, that's your job. Yes, but you have other roles and responsibilities to bring other players into play.
True.
And he's a unit. He's a big lad, but he's quick when he's fit. In all of the above, so he's always constantly getting in people's faces, getting elbows up, doing whatever. So yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Right.
Just because he didn't score. If he scored, I'll probably give him an 8 because I love the lad.
Well, if my mom had balls, she'd be my dad. So,
oh, that's a statement.
I'm just saying, man. He's trying to justify.
Hey,
I would have.
Please don't listen.
I you're from Missouri, so I mean, shit, you know.
Yeah, man. We're from the South. We're open mind. And it's late night in the UK, so you know, no kids should be watching anyway. Ronald says, I thought we're double AL. What? We're a team. Nah, this Jordy talk kills me. You guys, one of you read that. I guess nobody's gonna read it.
What did you say?
What?
You're not a Jordy anymore, man. Come on.
I'm trying to read, son.
Our team. Our team will read minus Mickey, but we cannot state the above. The kid around the time though. Yeah,
I'm so dude. You change your accent to it.
There's a lot of typos in that, by the way. I'm a Geordie, and there's a lot of typos in that. I can't even understand it.
That's hilarious. Big up Ronald Wood.
Phonetics, Ronald. Phonetics. They don't understand.
Appreciate it. He says Wilson was okay. Ian's laughing at me, but yeah. So Derek, what do you think about Kellen Wilson, man?
I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I would definitely give him a 7 for the work he was doing, like outside the box, between the box and the halfway line. You know, putting the graft in there. But he did have 2. He was fed 2 balls that I've seen him finish many a time. 2 balls through. One in the first half from Bruno. It was a lovely ball.
Yeah,
he didn't make the most of, and another one in the second.
No, he took a touch, didn't he? He took a touch.
Straight through the middle, and both times he miscontrolled the ball. So it would have been a 7, but for those 2 incidents, and so I think 6 is fair.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. Which, by the way, to me, 6 is not a good score. So I don't know what you guys are doing, but
it's all right. 6 is above average.
He's learning.
Anthony Gordon.
It's all right. He's learning.
And we gotta finish up. Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon. I mean, he was decent. He was decent, Ian.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Considering he was injured, you know.
Hey, no, listen, no, that's shite. That's shite. If he's injured, he's not playing. So let's stop making these superheroes out of nowhere, man. Come on.
He was injured for me. No, he was brilliant. I thought he was excellent. The kid, honestly, he's got balls. He's got like bollocks the size of fucking like hay bales.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows?
Who knows? No, I love him. 9.
Hey, Bills.
I couldn't think of anything.
You ever seen those hairless chimpanzees? Dude.
I couldn't think of anything else. They're not even round.
There you go. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
Del Toro.
all right. Okay, so go. So what's your score then?
9.
9.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought he was brilliant.
You
man.
thought he
thought
was the second best player on the pitch.
I did. I thought he worked. I thought he never stopped working. I think no, did I not give Trips a 9 as well? I thought
No, you give him an 8, I think.
No, you can't change your score.
Yeah.
Okay,
Man, we need to start penalizing people, man, because this
That's
is
a
just...
fine.
No, fuck Trips, 9. No, I thought he never stopped trying, considering he'd come back from having a boot on his foot a week earlier. Sprained ankle. He came on, he works his bollocks off like he always does. He loves the tune. I'd seen his little thing as well that he did on NUFC TV. That might have given him an extra point or two.
I thought...
Because he fucking loves being a Geordie. He's not even a Scouser. Fucking little. No. He's not. He has relinquished his skip ratishness. You know what I mean? He no longer dips in bins. He's now a Geordie. He's fucking getting a 9.
All right, Kevin.
8.
That's a fair score. I'd say 8 too.
I'll just give him an 8. Yes, he works his socks off. He adopted Geordie, as like the Rob Lees of the world and the Warren Bartons of the world. Yes, he's got bollocks like hay bales, all the above. But and he doesn't binge it
long night.
But at the same time, he's the player that you love to hate. He's like the Alan Smiths of back in the day and all the above.
Yeah, but he's a much better footballer than Alan Smith.
Well, but you know where I'm coming from.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the one that just everybody doubles up on him. Everybody has like other opposition have 2 or 3 around him to kick the shit out of him, essentially. Mm-hmm. So he's one of those that the players that you love to have, but you hate playing against because you know that he's going to do damage against you. Yes, he didn't. Yes, he might have had an injury. Yes, he might have been in a boot, crutches, you name it. All smokescreen, all psychology, all messing around with everybody else. I don't think he was injured for a second. I think he might have had a little knock or a little niggle just to have a photo op, essentially. But yeah, I'll give him an 8. I think it was a solid performance. Just if he got a goal, then obviously scores would have improved.
I agree. 8's only 0.1 away from a 9, isn't it?
No, you can't do that.
It's 0.9.
Exactly. It's a lot. Derek, what do you think, man?
Well, I'll give Gordon a 9 for his first half performance. For his first half performance. And probably a 7 for his second half performance. So that averages out to an 8.
Oh, bollocks.
Brilliant in the first half. Man of the match for me in the first half. Even with Bruno's volley.
Hey, look at what Steven said. How Eddie Howe? I thought you were Gordon. Anyways, he says Eddie Howe 10. We won, but Gordon needs a wheelbarrow for those bollocks. He's dragging them for sure, man. You guys need to look up hairless chimpanzees, and you will see.
No.
It's dangerous. Weapon.
Your Google search is getting fucked after this, isn't it?
Oh man. Anyways, listen, we've had a great chat, fellas. I appreciate you, coming on, and of course, everybody out there listening, commenting, watching. We are a podcast as well, so this will go to the listening platforms, Spotify, all that stuff, Apple. You're gonna see Kevin's dog barking. You're gonna hear Kevin's dog barking, but it's okay. And just to remind you, Remember to like, subscribe. If you're new onto the podcast, subscribe to the channel. You can become a Patreon. Thank you to Dan, Terry Cook, Louis York, NUSS, as well as Robbie for being patrons of the channel. Appreciate your support. You can become a Patreon, and link in the description. Also, you can join the WhatsApp group. It's free. Just come on and interact. Ian is gonna be there talking shit, as well as all these guys. So if you want to meet your idols, they're gonna be there in the group chat.
Fucking hell, if I'm anyone.
Oh, that's a statement.
If you want to meet your idols, come to the WhatsApp group chat. So yeah, all the links in the description below. I appreciate everybody support as well from Ian.
Well, thanks, Chris.
You fucking up
Chris.
my group, man. Go ahead.
You were saying you may be covering Eddie's press conference on Friday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother.
Oh, I know. He won't say much. He won't say much. But yeah, I do agree.
Whatever he does say, you take with a huge pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Krypton factor from back in the day. You've got to figure it out from
That's right.
down the dots.
All right,
Chris, thanks for having us on, mate.
Of course. Stay on after the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.